Hey, good morning, guys. It is February 22nd, and the scripture passage is from Psalm 46. Psalm 46 obviously is a psalm to the choir master, the sons of Korah. And so this is similar in feel to the Psalms of David, but it's probably somebody else. And it goes through all the things that are happening in the world or that do happen, and God is overall. And the line that Chambers focuses on is "Be still and know that I am God." 46:10, and it's obviously one that you've heard quoted before, and it's a difficult one because it requires peace in the midst of turmoil, and so that's what the whole chapter 46 deals with, is all the things that can and will happen in the world with kingdoms and kings and even the earth, and the way that the earth will give way, and all the tumult that will happen or has happened. And I wanted to compare it, and so this "Be still and know that I am God," and the idea that Chambers deals with here of spiritual tenacity is basically believing and resting in the fact that God wins out, not letting our life reflect any sense of fear or anxiety about what will occur. God will not be, and the way Chambers puts it in his language is, God is not going to be worsted. And so, which is an interesting word. I'm not sure where that comes from or why it fell out of use, but it's an interesting one. And he says tenacity is more than hanging on, which may be but the weakness of being too afraid to fall off. So it's not just hanging on; it's a different thing. Tenacity is um, assuredness and not just optimism, but certainty. I'd say that's a really good way to put it. Not just optimism, but certainty. And here's what I would say: is if you walked um, into a room and someone was wringing their hands and they were worried and anxious, and you say, "Hey, what's what's wrong? What's happening?" And they said, "Oh, well, my daughter is on her way home, and the roads are really bad, and the I'm really concerned that she's going to have an accident or something bad's going to happen to her." And then you give her the information she didn't have, that, "Oh, no, your daughter got home an hour ago. She's in bed." And you realize that for the past hour, she's been wringing her hands and anxious about something that was already done. The journey had already taken place. Her daughter was safe and sound in her bed. But for the past hour, the reality to her of concern and uncertainty and this anxiety that comes with it was still very real. And so I would say to you, that is, and maybe I'm taking Chambers' teaching here to a different place, but that's okay. I can do that because this is my podcast, and he already wrote his book. So, but here's what I would say: the certainty of how things are going to turn out is not in how things are going to turn out. We look at it the wrong way. It's what has happened, and we often get too anxious about the things in front of us and the things that are happening and will happen, and we forget about what has happened. And what has happened is this overarching, and I'll say it this way, victory. And I know that people can say, "Well, what do you really mean by that, Toby?" And I would say that obviously we serve the Creator God, the God of the universe, the God who holds all time, and happenings in His hands. And so when I say it's already done, that God will be exalted, is the way that Psalm 46, and "Be still and know that I am God." Here, this is how this continues: "I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." And so the "I will" is very definite. It's not a if this happens or if that happens. It's already done. It's done. So all the things that we fret about and worry about and get anxious about, when it comes to what God will do and what God will do with us, it's already determined. So I would say to you, if anxiety and worry is something that you have, um, take take rest in this. Be still and know that I am God, and I've already won. The battle's already done. Even that's interesting too. Even prior to the cross, the certainty that the early saints had, Abraham and moving forward, the fathers of faith, in the fact that God was doing something and had already accomplished it through the future work on the cross, and we can look back at the cross and say the same thing. Yeah, just be still. Sometimes we just need to be still. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.